You're such an asshole.
We do not get angry at Asshole Consulting anymore because we just charge more when you write a lot. Everyone sit down. Hi, Aaron. Please keep my name anonymous. Me and a colleague were recently laid off from our operator jobs at a manufacturing place. After several interviews, I have 2 job offers. The first offer wanted me to start straight away next week, and it is through a staffing agency. I'm currently working there right now as a worker and not a machine operator. I prefer the work of my previous job role, which was a skilled, specialized machine type of thing. Not super highly paid, but a skilled, you're a step above babysitting. But at the same time, I want to make sure I work with a good company and I can get the hang of the job. I've accepted the job offer for the other factory, but I must go through. Okay, wait. I'm currently working there right now. All right, so you've taken that job. Okay. I mean, so for right now, I guess you've been there for a week or 2. You might have an idea, you might have an inkling. All right, but now you got another. Okay, I've accepted the job at the other factory. I've accepted the job at the other factory. I don't know if you're talking the second job you're applying for, but I still must go through drug and physical tests, which is going to be a challenge because I already work full time. What's wrong with the drug and the physical tests? Honest to God, Jesus Christ. What what are the physical tests? How is passing those going to be a challenge? So what? You're working a full, like they're in the daytime and you have to leave your machine or whatever and go do these tests? I'm confused. My colleague accepted another factory job through a staffing agency and was fired just after 2 weeks. Okay, that's a bad one. My brother was promised that he would train him and that it was a laid back work environment. He has spent several years of experience as a skilled person, and he was told that he would be trained to become the next step up. I know that's the next step up. They gave a very strange reason for ending the contract with the staffing firm. Okay, so that's a bad employer. That is not your brother. 2 weeks? Your brother would have had to piss on the machinery and bang the boss's wife for that to happen. And just as a general rule of thumb, it is rarely the employee's fault. Employers would say otherwise. I disagree. Most employers are cocksuckers. You're assholes. You wouldn't have employee problems if you did training programs, were on the up and up, didn't require degrees and all these certifications, and maybe it just, here it is, you lied. They lied to your brother. They lied to your brother. I'm fully aware most employees are shit too. Don't get me wrong there, employers. But this shit right here, this BS, like, 2 weeks, we lied. You're fired now. That sounds more like mismanagement on the part of management where they lost a contract, someone wasn't doing the job, and they had to lay off a bunch of people because they didn't have the money to afford all those new people. They gave a very strange reason in the firm. My concern is that this could happen to me if I stay here at my current job. The workplace at the moment seems very impersonal, just like where my colleague worked. Another concern I have is that the business creates stuff which is tied to consumer spending. So if people cut back on spending, there could be layoffs. You start to worry about shit that ain't in your control. Oh my God, Aaron, a meteor might hit the facility. What do I do? That's not your concern. I don't think consumer spending is necessarily going to be going down. That's not a concern of yours. If it happens, then you worry about it. But if there's a recession, then you'd face the same recessionary pressure to fire you at the new or the other place. I was told that business will slow down in October. Okay, so it's seasonal. The job seems very easy so far. Unlike my brother, I feel productive at work. After 3 months, I'll be a permanent employee. Will join the union if my performance is good. The pay is not that much, but it ain't that little. But there are benefits, union benefits. I'm going to get that fly. Hang on. don't know what it is. I don't know how flies got in my house. Pay, but with union, however, I am not sure what they are. Why do you ask what the union benefits are? I honestly gotta know. You're using paragraphs. Are you dumb? Are you dumb? You're asking some dumb questions, man. And your writing's pretty unclear. Are you lazy and you didn't put it in the time to say, here's a guy who's going to read this. I'm going to mention I got 3 different employers, not say which is where, what is what, not explain things. Are you too lazy to go look and find out what the union benefits are? Don't you think that's kind of important to know whether you want to stay at a job or not? I'm about to have sex with this girl, but I don't know if she's got STDs or not. Oh, well. I'm just worried that I won't make the cut after 90 days, so I'll be allowed to join the union. Now, here's a simple solution to this. You ready for the simple? Here's the simple solution. Let me tell you, Cappy's simple solution. So you know whether or not it's you or the employer who's wrong. You do your best. You do your absolute best. Not that I mailed it in at any employer, but the last employer I did, not only did I do my best, I did everything, like literally everything to the letter they told me to do. So when the invariable time came that some whiny Quantahi cousin fucking Wyomingite problem came up, I knew it wasn't me. And guess what? They had to shut down a quarter of their operations because they were that piss poorly managed. And it wasn't me. So this way you know. So like your brother, it's very unlikely it was your brother's problem. It wasn't your brother's fault. 2 weeks in and they fire him? No, that's them. But if you're 90 days in and you want to know whether they're on the up and up and they're honest with you, yeah, you can you can join, you can apply and you do your best. And then you go, well, Vinny, we don't know about you. And they start giving you the runaround or lying. You say, bullshit. I did the best. Look at my numbers or whatever statistics. You said I could join the union. Now you're saying I can't join the union. Guess what, buddy? Now you've just figured out that's a bad employee. Maybe a bad union. I heard that unionized places have higher standards on employees, but it's harder to get fired. Maybe in that union, I don't know. The other job offer is for a publicly traded manufacturing company that pays $20 an hour in non-union. I was hired on the spot and the general manager seemed more personal, but I haven't met my immediate supervisor yet or worked there at all. They said to me that the job is very physical. I'll be working in an old building. Winter is the busy season. From my research, okay, you did do research. The company seems to be doing very well, and there is a backlog of work. My concern is that they could be lying to me, and I could also get laid off or fired here for a BS reason from a boomer boss. Yes! God damn it. Some of you people out there, Aaron, there's unknown variables. Yeah. Bad things could happen. Yeah. How do you guarantee it doesn't? I can't, buddy. That's your first problem. You're looking for some kind of look. Here's the other thing. You're not that highly compensated, which is fine. That's what I was making not too long ago, to be perfectly honest. They could fire you guys because you're a fart. That's another reason why it might be someone like, we can fire these people. We don't need them. But stop looking at me like, oh my God, I might get unjustly fired. Yes. Welcome to the real world. Mike, I mean, so first you got to understand, look, I'm being hard on you so you get this through your head, all right? So there's no way to know for sure, okay? And you're worrying about a lot of shit, man, that you don't control. So stop that. There might be a recession. Yes. So my question is, how do I spot a toxic workplace? And which place should I work at? I'm not answering that, buddy. You got to do the research. Stop being a lazy dumbass and do the research. I have read Indeed and Glassdoor reviews of both companies. They are all mediocre. Good. That's the first step. Very good. You've done that research. The place where I'm at now is through a staffing agency, and I'm concerned about its business fundamentals, but I seem to be getting better, and there is a union I can join. I don't want to be unexpectedly fired or laid off like my brother. Well, you don't control it. You don't control it. Stop worrying about it. And if you do unexpectedly get fired, now you know not to work for not only that company, but you take names. Who was your boss? Who was your boss's boss? Who was in command of that facility? So that down the road, 5-10 years from now, you go work at a new facility and say, wait, Bob Bobson, he's the one that ran the other facility into the ground. And now you know not to work for Bob Bobson. The other company has more starting pay, more interesting work, and it seems to have better fundamentals, but I haven't worked there. And the work is very physical from what I saw. In my colleague's case, the workplace seemed all right in the interview, but they let him go after 2 weeks because he wasn't confident with running the machines. Yes, okay, that's bullshit. That's bullshit. He's still confused about what that has to do with his performance. Well, tell your brother this right now. They are lying to him. I guarantee you they had to fire some people. Instead of like showing ineptitude on their part to say, oh, you're just not confident. It's not his fault. That much I can guarantee. That's a bullshit excuse. It's not true. It's not constructive. He was promised training, so it's understandable that he may have been slow at first. His boss's boss was a grumpy baby boomer, scolded the entire department for having low quality work and misallocating labor, and he said he despises all the new people for being paid too much. I don't have a boss like that if I can't. Well, what's your boss like now? If this helps you with any advice from me, I also have a certificate of training and a technical college, but I don't see any entry-level jobs for this particular thing. My plan C is if I'm facing chronic unemployment, is go back to fast food and finish off my certification degree, but I want to avoid this if I can. I'll list the pros. No, I don't need your pros and your cons. Although now I'm kind of curious. The first place, pro, work is less physical, therefore easier. Union minute, nicer facility. Cons, lower starting pay, employed at the moment through staff for business fundamentals. Slow down. Personal, not sure if it passed 90-day trial period. Are you on drugs? That might explain why you wrote so poorly. The other manufacturer coming, pro, higher starting pay, machine operator work and not production work. The manager seems to like me since there was a job interview, not employed through staffing agency, better business fundamentals. Cons, haven't worked there, so I don't know. The coworkers very physical, so I don't know if I'll get the hang of it. What did the hang of it? You either do it or you don't. How hard is it if it's $20 an hour? Jesus. Still need to do the physical drug test while working. Well, I'll pass them. Don't do drugs. Don't get fat. Do a pull-up. Look, I mean, if I had to choose between the two, I would go, I guess, with the second one because it pays more. And it has a backup of work, you were saying, but I'm just based on that information, which isn't enough. All right. How to spot a toxic workplace environment. Well, the first one is to work there. So you've been working at one and already, you're focusing on bosses and the type of work, not necessarily employees. It sounds like you're getting along with them. The other place you don't know, you haven't worked there. So there's the argument, one in the hand is better than two in the bush. So those are more specific to the job, but a toxic workplace environment to avoid what your colleague faced. You got to do a lot of research, which you've done some. That's good. You went to the Indeed and Glassdoor review. I think there's like a rate my boss. And that's the next step is you Google stalk the hell out of at least the first two people in command of you. At least the first two. So you got the name of the guy you'd work with and you find out what the boss's name is there. All right. You Google stalk the two of them. There might be a rate my boss. Hang on. Is there a review my boss, rate my boss? My boss, not booze, Clary. Rate your boss on boss report card. Rate the supervisor. Rate your boss.co. There's tons of boss ratings. See if they're out there and read through all the reviews. Then find out his boss or the manager of the facility. Find out who those people are. How long have they been there? How many bosses have been in your boss's position before him? How many times have they tried to keep someone in the place? Go talk to the employees. How long has your boss been in his position? 6 months. That's not good. How long was the guy before him in there? 6 months. Not good. Right? High turnover, both at people at your level and your boss and your boss's boss. The other boss has been there for 5 years and all the employees have been there for 18 months plus. Like, oh, okay, yeah. So the other place, not so much. How do I find that out? Talk to him. Walk around. Like, how long has this guy been in there? How long have you been here? Do you like working here? Then go to the other facility. Ask around. Hey, is this worth right? Is this, what do you think? How long has the boss been here? How long have you been here? What's the average length that somebody stays here? Google search the name and the companies. Spend hours researching so you'll have a better idea of what people are saying about them on the internet, which though isn't guaranteed to be true. It's better than nothing. And you should be able to find more than, Rate Your Boss or Indeed or Glassdoor Review. That's all fine. Those are good too. But you should maybe there's a discussion board. I mean, dig, look, you could find porn, right? You could find any kind of porn you want. I bet you're really good at finding porn. Something tells me you're good. You know where to find drugs too. All right. Can you spend as much research scouring the internet for dirt or good stuff on everyone that you're going to be working with? And that will inform you and paint a better picture as to whether or not it's a toxic work environment. And I'll tell you this right now, $18, $20 an hour, dude, go become a security guard. Go get a real degree or certification. Go back to school and get your certification. If your brother is getting fired, if you're worried about getting laid off, if you're worried about piss tests, you are in the trenches. You are not flying above. You do not have a good skill or a degree. And so you probably want to get some more training so that you walk in and you're making $30 an hour or $35 an hour. And when someone hires you, they're not fucking around with, if you're really good and you're on probation, maybe you get to join the union. How about that? How about that? But yeah, any gossip, man, walk around, ask people about it. Who's in charge of the facility? Who's the commander? Who's in charge of the base? And that's what I do. So there you go. We got any super chats? We got a couple people. We all getting off work here. What we got? Wisdom Vision Productions, $5. How to spot a toxic workplace environment. Do the females talk about cheating on their husbands or bring their babies to work because they all failed at life? That's more of a white collar office, I'd imagine. There, Wisdom. I don't think he's in blue collar. It's that in his individual now white collar as well. You would Google stalk the hell out of these people. Me working in banking, I had the benefit of going to the what was it? Not the Office of Comptroller Currency. Was it the FDIC? If it was the FDIC, and you could look up all the bank's financials, privately held or not. You're like, oh, these guys are shit. We're turning it around. No, you're not. Go back to banging your daughter, you dumb Wyoming hick. You ever hike around Montana much? No, just Glacier. Glacier a little bit north of Yellowstone. And I was intending this year to go up, but I'm burnt. I got so much work and house damage and all that. Wisdom Vision Productions, $5. Just assume 9 out of 10 corporations are trying to F you because they are. Thank you, Wisdom. Thank you. Which is why I'm trying to tell them, get an invaluable skill and certification and just start moving in towards self-employment, whatever it may be. And here's another thing for all of you. Let's say you do all your research and it seems pretty good or about as good as it's going to get. And you go in and they start fucking around you like what they did with this guy's friend. You quit. Like, I'm done. Hey, where's the training? Like day one. If I would have saved myself so much pain and agony, if I had day one, like, oh, we're going to have you do this. And day one, they're like, well, we're having you file in facts. Oh, we're not really ready to train you in. Well, get the person to train me in and do what you say you're going to do. Because if you don't, I don't want to be here. Which is security, guys. Always be working security. Always be working security so that when these cocksucking gray hairs, I am aware I am a gray hair, when these cocksucking gray hairs lie and switch on you and they don't train you, you leave. You don't need them. Emergency fund plus second job and exit plan equals checkmate for douchebag companies. Thank you, Wisda. It's like you listen to me or something. Michael Jacoby, $5. Hey, Cappy, why do people keep demonizing kids? Over the last few years, I keep hearing more and more people talk shit about kids, mostly Gen Z and millennials. Like they don't want to have kids, or they're like, kids are shit. Oh, I hate kids. Because there's a distinction. All right. Here's the truth about kids. Kids are great. Kids are awesome. As long as they ain't mine. Because kids are expensive. And there are many arguments and reasons not to have kids today, especially if you're not. Democrats should have all the kids in the world because you're just like, oh my God, somebody else, not me, will take care of them. And I don't have to raise them. And the teachers will cut their tits off. And let's say it's good for diversity. Yay! American parenting. But if you actually like loved your kids, there's some compelling reason to go raise them overseas. But no, there's something wrong with people who like, if they're saying like, I don't like kids, I mean, because kids are loud and annoying, ill-raised, improperly behaved children. Yeah, obviously. But if it's like a thing like, oh, I hate kids. I never want to have kids. Fuck kids. There's something wrong. Generally, most people want to have kids. But now, that being said, for Gen Z and millennials, I could see it. Because they weren't raised right either. They were raised by boomers and Gen X. Thus far, the two shittiest generations of parents on the planet, but millennials are going to make a run at that chalice. You guys are going to go for first place. I know, millennial parents. I just know. Yeah, they had shitty childhoods, and now they're having shitty adulthoods because they were lied to. So I could see where they're like, absolutely not. No way. And they're being sincere, not necessarily anything wrong, but generally, little kids, like tweens and teenagers, to hell with them. 0 to 2. They're there. They're cute. They do their thing. 2 is when it gets fun. Walking and talking. They're really excited to tell you something, but they don't have the vocabulary, so they mouth noises. Up to like 11, maybe 12, but 2 to like 8. Oh, man. They are your loyal wingman or wing girl. They'll do whatever you want. Like, do you want to do this? Yeah, let's go. Do you want to do that? Yeah, let's go. How you can't like kids, little ones that like are just excited about life and don't worry about the world's problems. Like, they're like dogs, little dogs that like want to do. Hey, do you want to go play ball? Oh my God, I can't wait to play ball. Hey, do you want to go look for turtles at the pond? Yeah, let's go. Do you want to ride in the back of the truck? Yeah, I want to ride. It's like, absolutely, kid, let's go. You're better than the adults. But yeah, if there's like they hate the kids or like and it depends on the kid. The kid's a snot-nosed brat. Yeah. Maybe I'm blessed. Maybe I got some good nieces and nephews where it's just like, it's chaos. It's wonderful. So just add a little sugar in there for you kids. All right. Yeah. Now go play kickball, soccer, croquet with big wooden mallets. Yes. Swing hard. No one wins until someone goes to the hospital. All right. Make your lives or your parents' lives hell. I would think, yeah, I think it's because they can't have them. They don't want them. But I'd think a third wanted them, but they're never going to have them because they don't have the money. Because let's just get more money. I need free education and help now. Thank you, Obama. Why is housing so expensive? SJ Tukanen, everyone's second job is applying for work. Thank you very much, SJ. You're absolutely right. Your second job is applying for work. Your third job is working security. And your fourth job is always hustling on some kind of independent employment. Your goal is to not depend on an employer. And that could be achieved where you are so valuable, like a CPA or a surgeon. You don't depend on your employer depends on you. And if they send Karen from HR, like, we didn't like your bedside manner after you saved the man's life by patching his heart up, you look at Karen, like, this is the power you want. You look at Karen and you say, let me explain something to you, worthless quanta, and you use the real word, not filming. You are a truly worthless, pathetic human being. You're a parasite upon this or any organization you belong to. I saved that person's life. You and that person can go shut the fuck up and go to hell. And no, I'm not apologizing. And if you come near me again with any of this bullshit, I'll go work for someone else. Matter of fact, I want an apology letter. And I don't have to deal with your bullshit ever again. I never want to see you again. That's the level of power. And then if they fire you, I'm okay, I'll go work over here. That's the level you want to get to. If you were an employee, but you're not really an employee, you're a specialist. And they need you more than you need them. All right, there you go. More on the way. We'll see you guys later, Toodles.